everybody, and welcome to my second episode of Sunday Snippets. This is my kind of catch up on the week that's just been / plan a little bit for the week ahead video. I think that's what it's going to be. So yeah, I'm going to share like anything that I've got that's new. I'm going to share some of the things that I've been doing, and like I say, plan a little bit for the coming week. So yeah, I've been a bit naughty this week and I've bought a couple of things which I don't need, but this book was on Amazon and it was so cheap. It was £5. This is 4-in-1 colouring collection, Tales and Myth by Selena Fennick, and it's got these 4 books included in this quite rather hefty, decently sized volume here. So we've got Unicorns and Dragons, Fairy Tales, Victorian Romance, and Goddess colouring books. And yeah, I just saw it on Amazon and kind of don't need it. I did have a Selena Fennick book and I got rid of it. Because I wasn't colouring in it, and then now I've bought another one. But hey, you know, it was hard to resist. So you've got all the thumbnails of all the pages right at the start, and then you dive into the pages. They are single-sided, so you can use your alcohol markers on them. There are 100 pages, so I'm going to flip through this super quick. So the first one is the Dragons and Unicorns book, obviously. Some really cool pictures, some kind of cute and cuddly pictures, some with like kind of these abstracty backgrounds. Yeah, these pages aren't my favourite. I do like some of them. I really like this one. I like this one. Quite like this one. Actually, there's quite a lot that I'm liking right now, but there's a few like that heart one that wouldn't have been my favourite. And some of them are really intricate, so using alcohol markers on something like this would be quite tricky. But there's tons. Now we get into the fairy tales. Now I kind of wish I'd had this book when I started my hashtag at the start of the year. We've got Beauty and the Beast. We've got Cinderella. We've got The Little Mermaid. Diamonds and Toads, which is one I've never heard of. It's a French fairy tale apparently, and it does have a little blurb about each fairy tale, which is really helpful. Thumbelina, Red Riding Hood, Snow White and Rose Red, The Snow Queen, Goose Girl, Vasilisa the Wise, which is, she's sent to, I was like, that's Baba Yaga's house, and yeah, it's to do with Baba Yaga. It's a Russian fairy tale. The Frog Prince, sneak peek. This is going to be my fairy tale for the month of November, so that could be quite a cool page to do actually. I can't even begin to pronounce that. Scheherazade, which comes from 1001 Nights, which is an Arabian fairy tale. Wild Swans, Rapunzel, Snow White, The Princess and the Pea, Sleeping Beauty, East of the Sun and West of the Moon, Rumpelstiltskin, one of my favourites, Rumpelstiltskin actually, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Aladdin, The 12 Dancing Princesses, Hansel and Gretel, Puss in Boots, Jack and the Beanstalk, and then we get into Victorian Romance. So these are Victorian Romance pages. Again, some of them I really love. Some of them I'm kind of a bit meh about. But Selena Fennick's artwork is absolutely stunning. The one thing I don't like about it is the paper. The paper's awful. Which is, I did do one page in the book that I had previously, which I then destashed, and I did really enjoy colouring it, but it the papers, yeah, I didn't enjoy the paper so much. But they are, you know, beautiful illustrations. And then the Goddess book, which I really like. So we've got Valkyrie, Blodeuwed. It's Welsh. I don't know how to speak Welsh. Diana, Lady of the Lake. Arianrod, it's another Welsh goddess. Aphrodite, so you can see they come from all over the place. Anthea, Athena, Ceridwen, I can say that one. Coventina, Fidelma. Some ones I've never heard. Gaia, his goddess, her goddess. Ishtar, Isis, Nuwa, Selene, Parvati and Shiva, Tempestus, Echo, Guanyin, sorry if I'm butchering these, the triple goddess, Ocean, Rhiannon, Wicca, and that's it. So I really like the goddess section of this book, and I like the fairy tales section. The other two I'm kind of a bit like, yeah, take it or leave it, but there are some really lovely pages in them. So that was my first purchase, a bit random and didn't really need it. I'm not sure when I'll get to colouring it, but hey ho. The second one was again a bit of a random purchase, Mystic Animals by Stratton Peterson. This I saw in my local bookshop, and I had it again. I had a Stratton Peterson book, which was Nature's Magic. Couldn't think of the name of it then. And I destashed it. I'd done again one page. I'm just checking. I definitely destashed it. Yeah, I did. Again, I'd done one page in it. Kind of struggled a little bit with the paper. Wasn't loving it. And now I've bought another. I just can't help myself, honestly. This one is, I mean, Stratton Peterson's artwork is beautiful, like really stunning. And yeah, this one's all animals. So we've got the stag, the fox, the bear, the bee, the cat. And again, you've got kind of a little blurb on each facing page, giving you a little bit of information about the animal and how, if you relate to that animal, what it kind of means in terms of your personality. I'm not 100% sure which animal I am. I have got a real soft spot for wolves. I don't know, I love wolves. They're really cool, and there is wolves in this book. But I don't know if I really would like identify as a wolf as such. But there are some beautiful, absolutely stunningly gorgeous pages in here. Yeah, will I do better with this book than I did with the last Stratton Peterson book I had? Let's hope so. It is absolutely beautiful. I do really love it. You could use alcohol markers on this. You would obviously destroy the written page. If that doesn't bother you, you could go ahead. I don't think I would use alcohol markers for the reason I don't want to really destroy that page, but also the line art is quite fine, and some of it is relatively intricate, so I'm not sure that alcohol markers would be the best bet for something like this. And I don't know how they would react on this paper. They might bleed, I think, quite heavily through the lines, so I probably wouldn't use alcohol markers. I don't know how water mediums would do on this paper. I don't know. It's not terrible paper. It's okay. It's not the thickest. But yeah, I might have to look. I know Jess from Colouring Bumblebee has done quite a few in these Stratton Peterson books, so I might have to check out what she uses in her books. But yeah, some absolutely stunning illustrations. Again, it was a bit of an impulse buy, but it is stunning. Mystic Animals by Stratton Peterson. Then the other thing that I bought was, I was ordering some stuff from Amazon, and this kind of popped up on my feed. Amazon Basics Premium and Coloured Pencils. This is the 72 set, and I was reading the reviews, and people were like, oh my gosh, these are like artist quality pencils, and they're so good. And the price was £7.99, which is super cheap. I mean, it's cheaper than some colouring books are. So for 72 pencils, I kind of thought, wow, you know, I could give them a try. I'm a sucker for pencils. So there's 2 trays. Yeah, I used them on a page this week. So I have tried them out. They are definitely not what I would consider artist quality pencils. They're okay. They're fine for the price point. Yeah, I mean, they do what they say on the tin. The great thing about them is they are quite highly pigmented, which you don't often get in a budget pencil. Often budget pencils tend to be quite washed out. They don't have a great deal of pigment, but these do have really good pigment. So they work really, really well in that respect. They don't blend and layer great. They do okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, for the price, that I wouldn't kind of necessarily reach for them over and over again, but I would use them every now and then. They did okay. I'll actually put them away and I can show you the page that I did with them, and you can judge for yourself what you think. So those are my 3 completely unnecessary purchases. I don't know what was going through my brain this week. I didn't need any of those. So the page that I did do with those Amazon Basic pencils was in Lulu's House of Wonder colouring book by Lulu Mayo, and we were looking at this last week and choosing a colour palette for the page. And here is the finished page, and I used those Amazon Basic pencils on this page. And yeah, it was a bit of a struggle, if I'm honest. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I used one of the blue pencils in the background, and it was a little bit patchy. I think that's the best way to describe it. There are patches of parts where the pigment didn't lay down as nicely as other areas, so it does give a little bit of a patchy finish. Yeah, so they're, like I say, they're not brilliant. They're okay. They did okay. I did use Amazon Basics for everything on this page, apart from obviously the super golden markers, which I've used for the kind of green areas and a little bit around the wings, and I used some white Posca for some highlighting, but other than that, it's all the Amazon Basics. So they're okay. They're not brilliant. I went off piste with my colour palette a little bit. These were the 2 colour palettes that we picked out, and I kind of said I was going to do something along the lines of that, and I kind of have. I couldn't find, I wanted to do this rabbit jackalope hair thingy, more in this kind of baby pink, but I couldn't find anything that matched that in that Amazon set, so I ended up going for a brighter pink, and then this was kind of going to be this, but didn't work out. And then I was kind of threw in a little bit of yellow, completely a different yellow to what's on this palette, but I decided to chuck in some yellow there as well. And then yeah, it went off piste a little bit, but it's similar-ish. It was inspired by the colour palette, but I got it done. That's the main thing. I don't love it. Not my favourite page by far, but it's okay. And yeah, it was good to experiment with those pencils. I still need to do October's page in this book, which is this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it. I would like to. I don't know. It's a maybe. We'll see. But yeah, so that's Lulu's House of Wonder. And then the other book that we were looking at last week, which was brand new to me, was this little Colouring Heaven Pocket Edition Fantasy Animals, which are all illustrations by Hanna Karlzon. And I did manage to get my page done in here, and I chose to do this little fox. He took no time at all. He was really quick and easy, and I really enjoyed doing this little page. I used Ohuhu markers and Artesia Expert on this one. And yeah, he turned out really, really cool. So I'm happy with that. So those were 2 completed pages I managed to get done this week. I have made a bit of progress on my gnome page, which is here. So yeah, it's coming along. It's getting there. I've done all the green has been completed. I'm working on the brown. As you can see, there's quite a lot of brown. I'm hoping that once I start like deepening up the other colours, that brown will kind of fade into the background a little bit more. I do feel like it's kind of a little bit in your face now, but yeah, I think it just needs all the other colours on here to balance it out properly. But I've made some progress. I'm quite pleased with how it's going. It's taking a while. The grass took a long time because there's so much of it and it's all in little bits. And yeah, it took a little while to get all the grass done. But I feel like it's pulling together. It's coming along. So I might spend a little bit of time now working on this for a little bit, and then I have I've got that page in Lulu Mayo that I would quite like to get to, and then I've got another page that I want to do. I really should be working on my Maria Trolle Moon Valley project book. I'm not inspired by that one at the moment, so it's been set aside. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but yeah, I might come back to this in a sec and we'll do a little bit of colouring on this and have a bit of a chat. Okay, so I've got you zoomed in a little bit here and I've got my pencils out beside me, and yeah, I'll dive in. So my brown colour combination I'm using is dark sepia, walnut brown, Van Dyke brown, nougat and brown ochre, and these are the polychromos pencils that I'm using. So yeah, I'll do a little bit of colouring on this. I haven't got a huge amount of time today. It's been a day. It's been a good day, but it's been a busy day. I've been out with my son. He's competing in cyclocross at the moment, so we travelled up to his cyclocross event, which was about an hour's drive, and then he came second, which is brilliant, but it meant that we had to kind of sit around and wait for the podium, which is, you know, it's not a bad thing, but it was just meant it made the day a little bit longer. And we've come back, and then obviously there's all that kind of cleaning and tidying and stuff, and then I'm cooking a roast dinner, so trying to get that done as well. So just, yeah, you know what it's like. Mum taxi duties and all the other stuff to get done. So I don't have a huge amount of time to just kind of sit down at the moment. I'm hoping I might get a little bit later this evening, but it's always quite difficult to film later on in the day when things start getting a little bit darker. It's really dark. The clocks went back last night, which is something that I haven't had to deal with for the last 7 years while we've been away in the UAE. There's no daylight savings over there, so we didn't have any clock changes, and I honestly almost forgot about it. My husband reminded me last night and we had to put the clocks back, and it was nice because we did get an extra hour in bed last night, which was lovely. But yeah, it kind of means that the days are really drawing in now, so the daylight is not lasting. It's getting dark, like it's kind of getting dark about, well, it's, what's the time now? How about 4? And it's definitely evening time. I think by about 6 o'clock it will be quite dark. So yeah, that's kind of sad, but it's okay. Just another thing that I kind of have to get used to again, that I haven't had to experience for a while. But it does just mean that we're losing that little bit of daylight. But yeah, the mornings are a little bit brighter, so it works. Yeah, it works both ways, and it swings and roundabouts. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was Sarah Renee Clark's colour cubes, because I was kind of shocked at the response that my comments last week got. Like, there was a lot of people who feel very strongly about these new colour cubes, and I kind of hadn't been expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting, but there were a lot of people that kind of feel quite aggrieved about the new colour palette system. And there were a lot of people that were defending the new colour palettes and kind of saying that, you know, that Sarah had good reasons to do what she's done. And a few people said, look, you need to go and check out the video that she's made about it. So I did. I did go and do that because I felt that was only fair. And I must admit, it has kind of given more of an insight into why she has changed the colour palettes so drastically, and not like just introduced a new set of colours, a new kind of like couple of volumes. So it did explain that, and I do have a little bit more understanding as to why she has done what she's done. So basically, for those of you that don't know, she wanted to make some changes to the color cubes, and she wanted, one of the things that she wanted to introduce was like categories, so that there are tabs within the cube for different categories. Now, if you have the online, the digital version of the color cubes, like I do have the digital version as well as the physical box or boxes, because I've got the first two. You will know that on the digital version there are these kind of categories. So there's like food, and there's like Christmas and spring, and so, you know, the kind of, you can search up the color palettes by those categories, which is great. But a couple of those categories are kind of listed down as like Pantone Spring 2020 or something, you know, something like that. They're dated. So obviously those color palettes have dated, and those categories don't really work. They still work, but do you know what I mean? She feels like they're out of date, and she doesn't want to have those included in the new version, which, again, I completely understand her reasoning behind that. So she wanted to find a way of reinventing some category, introducing different categories and kind of making everything fit. So in order to do that, she's kind of had to start from scratch, basically. So that's why, instead of just introducing 2 new volumes to the existing color cubes, she's kind of reinvented the wheel and started again with a completely new system, with some of the same, I hope I'm explaining this right, with some of the, you know, the same color palettes. Some have been altered, but many from the original sets are still there. They've just kind of been recategorized and updated. So yeah, I do. So yeah, that is why she's done what she's done, and I do get that. I do understand. It's still frustrating, though. I think it's still frustrating when I've paid so much money for volumes 1 and 2, and I can't just buy a volume 3 and 4 without getting double ups. That's frustrating. It would have been nice to have been able to do that. But it's, you know, it's not possible. Is it going to put me off buying them completely? I'm not sure. Having seen that video and kind of understanding her reasoning behind it, I don't think it's going to completely put me off. I'm not going to rush out and purchase them straight away. And when I do purchase them, I won't be purchasing volumes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'll just be getting volumes 3 and 4, which seem to have the least amount of double ups in them. my desk is wriggling a lot today. So yeah, I think I will be getting eventually, not anytime soon, I'll be getting volumes 3 and 4. I really like them as a resource, and they are super expensive, and they're not a necessity. I'm well aware of that. I can go online and find colour palettes easily enough. I can buy colour palette books. The reason I like the cubes and the cards is that they're so easy to kind of, like I've done with my Lulu Mayo page there, I can slip them inside my book. I can refer to them constantly. I can actually physically move them and take them to match them up to colours and that sort of thing, which I find really difficult to do with a book. So I do think there are a lot of advantages to the cube, but they're definitely not an essential piece of kit. They're a nicety, and they're a really expensive nicety. But I think I would quite like to get volumes 3 and 4, and yeah, like I say, it does frustrate me that they're not going to be entirely different from what I already have. That does annoy me because, like I say, the original sets were very expensive, and I feel like I'm paying twice for the same thing. I've missed these bits of my grass here. So yeah, I do feel like I'm paying for something I already own a little bit, which, like I say, is a bit frustrating. But yeah, I think eventually I probably will end up getting them, unless I see something that really puts me off and people say, no, they're horrible, don't buy them, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't imagine people are going to be disappointed with them, because they do look really good. I do like the idea that she's made the boxes easier for you to get the cards in and out of. I like the idea that she's added the kind of tabs so you can refer to different categories easily enough. So I do think the changes she has made are good. I'm just, like I say, a little bit frustrated that I can't just buy volumes 3 and 4 and know that there's no double ups. So yeah, that's a bit frustrating, but it's not going to put me off completely. I will not be buying the online subscription to the digital version. I use the digital version that I have occasionally, but I don't use it that often. I prefer just to kind of flick through my cards. I've used it like when I've been on holiday and traveling and not taking my cards with me. Obviously, I've used it in those circumstances, so it is quite handy, but I don't want to pay for an online subscription service like that, especially when I know that Karen from My Colourful Country Life is coming out with her own version, and I've got to admit, Karen's tools that she's provided mostly free of charge. I mean, you can like pay for stuff on, I can't remember what app she uses, which I have done because I like to support her. I think she's an amazing colorist and she gives so much to this community. It's nice to be able to give her a little bit back. I have bought a couple of her color combination things, at her Polychromos and her, I think it was her Black Widow ones. I've bought, and you can donate. It's not donating, but you know you can allocate a certain amount of money towards the purchase of it, which I have done, and I'm more than happy to do, because like I say, it's an amazing resource, and I think Karen's work for this community is just, she's done so much for it. So I'm always happy to support a fellow colorist in that respect. So I think knowing that her digital version will be out very soon, I would rather put my money towards that than towards the Sarah Renee Clark one, which for me just feels far more commercial than Karen and her brother working on this app that she's been developing with him, and which does sound absolutely amazing. So not that I'm anti Sarah Renee Clark, because I'm not. As I've said, I do think I'll probably end up getting volumes 3 and 4 of the Colour Cube. I hope I'm explaining myself here. I as far as I'm concerned, I would rather get Karen from my Colourful Country Lives app if I get an app like that, like a digital kind of colour matching subscription or whatever. I feel like I'm not explaining myself very well, but hopefully you all understand what I mean. And I don't mean to cause any offence to anybody whatsoever. Like I say, I really like the Colour Cubes, and I have had a great deal of benefit from using mine, and I have used it regularly. And yes, it was super expensive, but you know, for me it was worth it because I have had years of using it and will continue to have years of using it and referring to it regularly, which kind of, I think, makes it worthwhile. I'm using the wrong colour. But yeah, I like I say, I'm a little frustrated that I can't just buy volumes 3 and 4 and know that they're two completely different boxes to the ones that I already own. I really hope that makes sense. And I really hope that doesn't offend anybody, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Yeah, it would be nice just to have a completely new product, and not feel like I'm paying twice for something. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I was quite surprised by the kind of depth of feeling and emotion that went into some of the comments that I received. It was really fascinating, and I think there were a lot of you that kind of felt similarly to me, that it was annoying. So yeah, I wasn't alone, but likewise, like I say, there were people that, you know, felt like actually she's making this product and she's made these improvements, and this is why, you know, this has happened, and this is the way she's done it. But yeah, it was good, and I am glad I went and watched her video and kind of got more of an understanding as to her reasoning behind things, because it did help explain quite a lot about what's gone on and what's new and what's different and how it's all changed. And yeah, I think it's important to understand all of that as well. Okay, we're getting there. We're making progress with this page. I think it's going to look good when it's done. I hope it does. I'm enjoying working on it. I'm actually really enjoying using my polychromos pencils here. I haven't used them for quite a long time, so it's nice to pull them out again and try and give love to all my pencils. I'm such a sucker for pencils and buying new brands, as you saw from the Amazon ones. Really didn't need to buy those, really didn't. But at £7.99, I was kind of like, gotta give them a try. Yeah, they were okay. They wouldn't be my kind of go-to pencil, particularly not for a page like this. I wouldn't use them on something like this, but they worked okay. I did struggle with them a bit on that Lulu book. I was you know, when you start a page, and I don't know if anybody else is like me, I'm a little bit stubborn. I was like, all right, I'm gonna use these pencils on this page. And then I was struggling with them, and I was like, but I said I was going to use these pencils, so I'm going to use these pencils, and I'm going to finish this page with these pencils. And even though I'm not really enjoying it, it's going to happen. I don't know if anybody else gets like that. I'm ridiculously stubborn with stuff like that, and I'm like, no, I'm going to stick it out. It's going to get done. And even though I wasn't particularly enjoying using them, I persevered. Luckily, it wasn't a huge page and it didn't take too long. But yeah, it definitely detracts from the experience of colouring when you're not having much fun with it. Right, I'm gonna leave that there. I think that's probably enough of watching me colour brown and yabber on, and I'll be back in a sec and we'll have a look at something else. Okay, sorry, I keep getting interrupted today, but one of the other things I really want to get to this week is this book. So this is Halloween by Hanna Karlzon. Obviously it's a Halloween book, and Halloween is on Friday, and so far I've only managed to get one page in here done, which was this one. I did as a colour along on the channel, and I'd really like to get another page done, and I was flicking through, and this wreath kind of caught my eye, and I thought it wouldn't take too long to do, so I might just do a little bit of work on this one now and see how we go. And for this page I kind of thought about doing a colour palette inspired by sorry, I've got a light on I'm trying to fix my lighting situation, and I don't know that it's working great. Anyway, I was looking at Erica from Elm Colours, who is doing a hashtag at the moment called a different Halloween 25, and she's got some kind of unusual Halloween colour palettes, and I've been wanting to join in her hashtag and haven't as yet, and we're running out of time. So one of her colour palettes is one that she's called Pinkalicious, and I kind of thought it would be quite fun to do, to have a try with. So I'm thinking of doing some kind of pink, yellow, orange pumpkins. I don't know if it's going to work, but I've got some colours pulled out. I've got some Prismacolors here in front of me that I've pulled out. I'm thinking of like a black bow. I'm not sure. I'm going to do something kind of ivory-ish with the bones. I'll try and remember to post the colour palette up on screen for you so you can see it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's dive in. Let's do some colouring and see how we go. So I don't know where to start. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Let's just dive in and have a go. So I told you my light situation was not going great. Hold on, let me just fix this. Okay, sorry. That was a bit scary. Yeah, I had a little like clip-on light and it just fell down. It's not very secure. I don't know how to get it clipped on. I'm trying, like I say, trying to improve the lighting situation here, because I feel like I'm going to be colouring a lot more when it's a bit dark outside, so I'm going to need these lights. Yeah, so as I was saying, I've got some Prismacolors picked out here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work. I feel like I'm just going to dive in. So I have got Process Red, Hot Pink, and Deco Pink as my first colour combination. And yeah, like I say, this could go all horribly wrong, but let's just, dive in and have a bit of fun, if nothing else. It'll be interesting. We'll see. Yeah, I just really wanted to do another page in this book because, it's the chances of me doing any more in it this year are probably quite slim, given that, Halloween is about to happen, and the book will probably get put back on the shelf. and I wouldn't say forgotten about, because you know, it's a really cool book, but you know what I mean, it's probably not going to get touched a great deal between now and next Halloween, although there are some pages in here that would work for any time of the year. But I feel like yeah, definitely more a seasonal book that will come out in the Halloween season rather than all the time. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to give it another little bit of love before I pop it away. And as you know, I really am loving Hanna Karlzon at the moment. I've got some real little stumps of pencils here for my Prismacolors. I have got like backups if I need them, but I'm going to try and make the most out of the ones that I have. So yeah, I saw, I've been meaning to join in Erica's hashtag since she kind of set them up at the beginning of October, and just haven't managed to get around to doing that. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity, just to kind of, you know, have a little bit of fun and play around with different colours. Been talking about colours a lot today, I mean colour palettes, but yeah, that's kind of what I just decided on. And I was looking, there was another one, I think she's called it, this one's Pinkalicious, and then the other one was, I think it was Spooky Purple, and that was kind of a cool one as well, and I was debating between the two of them. But I kind of felt like this one was really different. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but I thought, well, that kind of looks fun. I'm going to have to sharpen some of these because they're really blunt. I have been using my Prismacolor sharpener a lot more for my Prismacolor pencils lately, and I actually really like it. It's saying that, first one's just broke. This is a new pencil, so I hope it's not broken all the way through. So forgive me for doing this on screen. But yeah, my Prismacolor sharpener, I've been having a lot better results with my Prismacolor sharpener than with my ordinary dial with Prismacolor pencils. I just find that the points break anyway, but they don't break quite as readily as they do when I use the dial. So I've kind of been reaching it for a bit more, and that's since I went I was on holiday and traveling. I didn't have my dial with me, so this was the I was using my Prismacolor sharpeners a lot more, and yeah, just kind of was liking the results that I was getting from them, so have been using it a lot more. And yeah, like I say, kind of enjoying that. What am I doing there? Colour that bit on the inside darker, I think. Sorry, I didn't tell you the colours I've got here. I've got yellow, ochre, sand, and eggshell for my kind of yellowish colour combination. It's quite a pale ochre yellow though, as you can see here. It's not a really bright vivid yellow. But yeah, I just thought these colour palettes were really fun that Erica had put together, and like I said, I've been meaning to join in with her and just haven't had the chance, and like we're running out of time really fast. I can't quite believe that we are almost in November already. The shops are starting to fill up with Christmas stuff. I'm just not ready for it. I really am not ready for Christmas just yet. Yeah, it feels like yesterday it was summer, and now we're like really rapidly approaching winter. I'm just not ready for it. It has been so cold here today. It's been like, well, it's been the thermometer says about 11 degrees, but it's, you know, when they do that, it feels like temperature, so it feels like 3 degrees. And it really does feel like 3 degrees today. It's been super cold. And yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. Where's my brush? There it is. So yeah, it's kind of been a bit, yeah, a little bit chilly for me today. I don't mind it though, because it's dry. It's not been raining, which is nice, because when it rains, it's definitely not so much fun. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Let's see how this goes. I've got a deeper orange colour combination here. I might try on my next pumpkin. So this is, what have I got? Permanent red, poppy red, pale vermilion, and peach. And I'm really sorry, I need to sharpen these as well. I should have done all of this off camera, but yeah, it's been a day. I've kind of been really busy, and I really just wanted to sit down and film this and get a little bit of colouring done. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done on this page with you guys, but maybe I can get the pumpkins done and make a start on this page. I don't think this page will take too long to do. It's kind of a fun little page. I was kind of eyeing up, there's some pumpkin houses in this book that I was quite tempted by as well, but yeah, this page won out mostly because of the simplicity of it, and I would quite like to, I should really be working on my project book, Moon Valley. I don't know. I'm struggling this month to find the motivation for that one. But maybe if I just sit down and start it, it will help. I don't know. I think I just need to do it. But yeah, I don't know. It's 2 pages, and I don't think I'll get both pages done this month, but maybe I just need to try. Pencil's breaking a little bit. Maybe I need to just kind of like knuckle down and give it a go. But, you know, the appeal of other pages is calling. I would really quite like to get something done in that new Stratton Peterson book as well that I've got. There's a bat page in there that I was thinking would be quite good for this time of year. There's just too many pages and just not enough hours in the day, really. Like, I wish I could spend more time colouring and less time doing other stuff, but yeah, things have to be done. Other things have to be done, unfortunately, and I just can't neglect everything. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know what I'm going to do about the leaves, whether I'm going to do the leaves in similar colours to what I'm doing the pumpkins in, or whether I need to bring in a green. There was no green on Erica's palette, although she gave some example images. Again, I will try and remember to pop it up. She gave some example images which have green in them. So maybe I can pull some green into these. I don't know what to do about the inside, like the mouths and stuff either. Whether I just do them like black. Yeah, I haven't really thought this through. I'm just kind of playing and having a bit of fun. So I haven't thought it through. I haven't really planned out colours or anything. I just thought, oh, I'm going to try that colour palette and see how it goes. Yeah, and then just kind of picked out some pencils based on those colour palettes. And yeah, I'm kind of just winging it here. Sometimes pages like this work out really well. Other times, you know, they don't. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. It's about the process and having fun and enjoying it. So, And any time colouring really is enjoyable most of the time. Every now and then I get really frustrated with the page when it's not going to plan, but okay, I think that looks okay. Okay, I've got a light pink combo as well. Let's try that. It's going to be very colourful. So this combo is pink, blush pink, and deco peach. Again, I have to do a bit of sharpening, sorry. I think I can just about get away with the other ones. Yeah, I just thought, well, let's have a bit of fun. So, have you all got plans for Halloween? Are you doing anything exciting? What's happening? We are going to a pumpkin patch. It's the first time we've done that. I think probably, well, I don't know that it was such a big thing before. It's, dare I say it, I think it's quite an American tradition, and I think it's kind of found its way over here, a little bit like Halloween actually, because although Halloween originated in Ireland, I think, from Samhain, it kind of was really big over in America across the Atlantic, and it's kind of trickled in over here and become bigger and bigger. Pumpkin patches weren't really a thing when we lived in the UK before, or at least if they were, I hadn't heard about them. But this year I seem to be seeing advertisements for pumpkin patches everywhere, and there is one just down the road from us, and they've got, so you can go in and pick your own pumpkin, which is cool, but they also have like a scary kind of it's like live actors, you know, at night times trying to scare people. And my kids are all of an age now where they can handle that kind of stuff and are quite keen to go and be scared. So we have booked in to go and do that. Oh my goodness, my pencil just broke. There was me saying that I don't get much breakage with these pencil sharpeners, and now everything's breaking. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so my kids are at an age now where we can go and do stuff like that, and it'll be fun. So we've booked in to go and do that on Wednesday. We're going to get our pumpkins then, and hopefully be able to carve them and pop them outside ready for Halloween night. And then, I don't know, like, trick-or-treating is relatively big around here. We had, even when my kids were little and we lived here before, we did trick-or-treating. So I know we'll be doing some of that. I say we, I will probably be staying at home and handing out the candy here. Or the sweets, as they call them in the UK. We've kind of gotten into the routine of calling it candy because we've been living in the UAE, and it seems to get referred to as candy there mostly. So yeah, so that might be my job, just to hand out the candy while we get the trick-or-treaters coming around. Okay, I don't know what I'm thinking of this page. It's experimental, if nothing else. So yeah, that's going to be fun. That's something definitely that I'm looking forward to, going to the pumpkin patch and picking our pumpkin, if I can speak. It'll be a lot of fun, and quite a nice little family activity. Hope I don't get too scared. Yeah, they've kind of got these like live actors that you know, are all dressed up, and I don't know whether they'd like chase you around and stuff. I don't know, but yeah, I hope I don't get too scared. So that'll be fun. It'll be good fun to do. and I'm looking forward to that. And then, yeah, like I say, Halloween on Friday night. It's half term here at the moment, so the kids are off school this week, which is lovely. And because I work in a school, I have half term off as well, which is even better. Yeah, so it's nice. We're just kind of chilling, spending some time together, hoping the weather will stay good so we can maybe get out and do some exploring around the countryside. We've got we're really lucky where we live. We're quite close to some beautiful National Trust properties. For those of you that don't live in the UK, National Trust properties are kind of like big stately homes that used to be owned by the wealthy people, lords and ladies, and, you know, think Downton Abbey type thing. And many of them have been gifted to the National Trust. Obviously, properties like that can be really, really expensive to maintain. So we get a lot of people that kind of get the National Trust involved to help them keep the property maintained and in good order. And I think that's how it works anyway. And then they open them up to the public to visit. So they normally have beautiful big grounds, beautiful houses that you can walk around. And like I say, we're very lucky where we live that we have two right literally on our doorstep that we can go and visit. So I'm a member of the National Trust for that reason, because, you know, it's a really easy day out for us. You can go and visit them, and there's like nature trails and normally big like playgrounds for kids, and like the houses themselves that you can go and have a look around. And yeah, it's normally a nice day out. And I spent a lot of time in National Trust properties when my kids were younger, because, you know, they had cool playgrounds, and they do fun activities and things during the summer vacations and at Christmas time and that sort of thing. So they're really, really lovely. And like I say, we're really lucky to have two of them right on our doorstep. So if the weather holds, we might be able to get out and do some exploring around one of those over the holiday. Yeah, we haven't got loads of stuff planned, but those are a few little bits and pieces. We're hoping to catch up with some friends, which will be really nice, that we haven't seen since we left the UK. So it'll be really nice to catch up with them. Yeah, so we've got quite a jam-packed half term, really. Lots going on, but nothing like strenuous, just nice activities, easy kind of chilled activities. What do we think? What do we think of this? I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Am I going to regret this? I didn't do the inside of his eyes. Let's grab that. I don't know. I think it looks okay. Do another little. I might do that little one peeking out orange, and then do this one. I might do this one a light pink. Just kind of trying to mix the colours up a bit. I don't know. I'm not sure whether this is working or not. It could end up looking fun. Could end up looking a complete mess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I do like working with my Prismacolors again. I don't know, Prismacolors are kind of magic, aren't they? They're just so creamy and easy to use. So yeah, that's our half term. It's kind of Halloween wrapped up, and then it's back for the second half of the term and the lead up to Christmas, which is always a busy, busy time. And yeah, it's kind of fun. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm going to do that one in those light pink combination. So I did say what this was, wasn't I? Rose, pink, blush pink and deco peach for this light pink combination. I think I'd already told you that. I'm not very good at multitasking. You may have figured that out. Like, I find it quite hard to concentrate on what I'm saying and my kind of what my hands are doing at the same time. Yeah, not very good at multitasking. So go there. I think it's, I don't know, I think it's going to look fun if nothing else. I went wrong colour. Yeah, that one I want. You have to let me know what you think about this one. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about whether it's going to work or not. I just have to try and figure out how I'm going to colour the leaves. I've got some browns picked out for the acorn and the actual wreath itself, and probably for the spider, or do I do the spider black? I'm definitely going to do the ribbon black. I think that will look quite cool. I'm just not sure. Maybe I need to add some green in. Yeah, let me know what you think. Do I add green in? Do I add green to my leaves, or do I use the colours that I've got, like the oranges and the yellows and the pinks, to colour the leaves as well? Or is that going to kind of make the pumpkins look a bit lost amongst it? I don't know. I kind of want the pumpkins to stand out a bit. So maybe I do need to pull in some green. I could do the leaves. Oh, I don't know. Could do the leaves black. Don't know if that's a good idea or not. Okay, here's my pumpkins. What next? I think I'll do the. Should I do the bow? I'll do the bow because I know that I definitely want the bow black. So I've got. Sorry, having to sharpen everything, and I think that's not too bad. So I've got black, 90% cool grey. Oh, I've lost that. 70% cool grey and 50% cool grey for my black combo, which I'm going to do on this bow. So in Erica's example, they had some black cats, so I figured I can bring some black in. And it hopefully make those bones kind of stand out against the black. So I could probably do them in kind of like a ivory sort of pale colour. So if I have the black kind of background to those, should help them to stand out. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of adding some colour on and hoping for the best. Oh goodness, and I'm bumping my camera, sorry. Can be quite messy using the greys and the blacks. Okay. I don't know. I'm hoping this is going to be okay. Kind of like the depth that we've got there with that ribbon. I think that's going to look quite good. I just hope it's all going to work with everything else. But I do have to leave it there because I've got to go and do some other things. So it's a quick start on this page. I might try and work on this a little bit later on this evening if I get a bit of time to do so. But yeah, let me pull that down again so it's in frame. That's the start. I'm not sure. Don't know if it's going to work. We'll try. Like I said, I still don't know what to do about these leaves and whether I just use the colours that I've already got pulled out or whether I want to bring in some green. Yeah, we'll see. I've got some browns, like I say, pulled out to do the actual wreath part and to do my acorns. I know what colour I'm going to do my bones, so it's really just the kind of the leaves and then these swirly whirly bits. Not sure, but hopefully I'll get this page done during the week. I want to work a little bit more on my gnomes. I'll just remind you of how that one's looking again. Oh, it's the wrong page. Where's it gone? Yeah, it's in here. Somewhere it's in here. So yeah, that's my gnomes page. It's coming along nicely. I'm quite happy with how this one's looking. A little bit more brown to do over here, and then I think I'll probably start maybe on this brighter orange combo that I've got going, and then perhaps some of the mushrooms and things. Excuse me. So yeah, a couple of pages that I'm definitely going to be working on. As I said, I would like to... Oh gosh, excuse me, I had to pause for a coughing fit there. Yeah, as I was saying, I would like to get to this page as well if I could. I'm not making any promises, but I really need to think about a colour palette for that one. Maybe I could use one of Erica's other colour palettes for this page. I don't know. I'll have to think and see how I go. Definitely want to try and get this one done. Work a little bit more on my gnomes, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. But anyway, that's it. That's my Sunday snippets. Hope you enjoyed that one. I'll check back in with you next week and let you know how it went. I'll be doing my completed pages video at the end of this week. I will be doing my Colour the Fairy Tales hashtag at some point this week. It's going to be quite a busy week. Let's see how we go. Hopefully I can get all of that done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Halloween. Happy colouring. And yeah, I'll see you again next time. Take care, everybody. Bye.